Hey, before we start today, we want to do something a little different.
We want to talk about you, not about grammar, not about vocabulary, not even about speaking tips.
We want to talk about why you're here, why you opened this podcast today, why you're spending your commute, your morning, your lunch break learning English.
Because we've been reading your comments, hundreds of them, and what you write, it's not really about English.
It's about a job you want, a country you dream of living in, a conversation you want to have, a version of yourself you're trying to reach.
English is not the goal. English is the door.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Welcome to Speak First English, where we speak first and think second.
Jake, I want to start today with a question I rarely ask out loud. Why did you start learning English? The real reason, not the textbook answer.
The real reason. Okay, when I was about 17, I had this image in my mind. Not a plan, an image of myself in a place I hadn't been yet, talking to people I hadn't met yet, in a language that felt like freedom.
Freedom.
It sounds dramatic, but English felt like a door to a bigger world, and I was standing on the other side of that door, and I really, really wanted to go through.
And did you?
Eventually, not as fast as I wanted, not as smoothly, but yes, I went through. And today, I want to talk about the people who are still standing at the door and why and how they can walk through it.
Today's episode is different from everything we've done before. Today, we're not teaching tips, we're telling stories.
Real stories from real people, people exactly like you who used English to change something real in their lives.
Because sometimes the best lesson is not a technique, it's proof. Proof that it's possible. Proof that the door opens. Proof that someone who felt exactly where you feel right now walked through.
And along the way, we'll look at the real English that these stories contain. The language of change, the language of possibility, the language of a life being built word by word.
Because that's what this is. Every English word you learn, it's a brick, and bricks become walls, and walls become rooms, and rooms become a life you chose.
Before we start, please share this episode. Share it with someone who is learning English but doesn't yet believe it will make a difference, someone who studies but loses motivation, someone who wonders if it's worth it.
This episode is their answer. Let's go.
Anna, I want to start with something that might surprise people. Why does English specifically change lives? There are hundreds of languages. Why this one?
It's a fair question, and the answer is not that English is better than other languages. It's that English is currently the language of access.
Access to what?
Access to information. Over 60% of internet content is in English. Access to opportunity. Most international companies conduct business in English. Access to education. The majority of the world's top universities teach in English. And access to connection. English is the shared language between a Vietnamese engineer and a Brazilian designer working on the same project.
So it's not about English being special, it's about English being the current key.
Think of it like a currency, not because it's more valuable than other currencies, but because it's accepted everywhere. When you have it, you can participate in more of the world.
And when you don't have it, not because you're not intelligent or not capable, but simply because no one handed you the key, you're locked out of rooms that exist specifically for you.
And that's what these stories are about. People who found the key, or who made it themselves, and what happened when they walked through the door.
Real people, real doors, real lives.
Our first story, and this one comes directly from the comments under one of our episodes. A woman named Rauda from Indonesia wrote something that stayed with me.
Tell us.
She wrote, "My dream is to get a high score on IELTS, to study abroad, to experience other cultures, to reach my dream job, to get a high salary, to build my dream house, to bring my family to Mecca. If I write all my dreams here, it would never be enough. But my goal right now is just one thing, to be consistent, to listen to this podcast every day."
One thing, consistency as the path to everything else.
And what struck me about Rauda's comment is the clarity of it. She knows exactly why she's learning English. It's not abstract, it's specific. A scholarship, a university, a home, a pilgrimage with her family.
English is the thread that connects all of those dots.
And her strategy, just one English podcast every day, is the most sustainable, most realistic approach to all of it. Not intensity, consistency.
Think of it like water on stone. One drop doesn't change anything, but the same drop every day for years changes the shape of the stone.
Rhoda's English, one episode at a time, is changing the shape of her future, quietly, steadily, one day at a time.
And that's the first lesson. You don't need a dramatic plan. You need a daily practice, even small, even imperfect, but every single day.
Our second story, and this one is about the specific moment when English stopped being a subject and became a tool.
A viewer named Abby wrote this: I failed my interview recently because I wasn't good enough with my communication skills. I'm glad I found this. I'm aware of my weakness now. I'm accepting it and finding ways to improve it. I am shifting my mindset to a growth mindset.
A failed interview. That's a painful moment.
Very painful. But look at what Abby did with that pain. She didn't blame herself permanently. She didn't give up. She named the problem, communication skills, and she found a resource, this podcast.
And the thing that stands out in what she wrote, I'm shifting my mindset to a growth mindset. She knows the language of change, and she's applying it to herself.
Because here's what's real. The interview didn't fail because of Abby's intelligence. It didn't fail because of her experience. It failed because of one specific skill gap, and skill gaps can be closed.
English communication is a skill. Like any other skill, it responds to practice. It responds to attention. It shows up.
And the person who lost that interview is going to the next one with something new, a podcast habit, a growth mindset, and the language to walk through the door that was closed last time.
The second lesson, a failure is information, not a verdict. It tells you exactly what to practice next, and practicing next is the whole game. Our third story, and this one is about what English makes possible when your world is already complicated.
A man named Eugene from Ukraine wrote this, and I want to read his words carefully because they matter.
He wrote, I'm from Ukraine. My biggest dream is for the war in my country to end. As it turned out, all other dreams are not as important as they always seemed. Appreciate your freedom and peace. Thank you especially for the podcast. It allows me to distract myself a little.
This comment has stayed with me since the day I read it, because in the middle of something so much bigger than language, he is still learning, still listening, still trying.
And the podcast gives him something to hold on to, something consistent in an inconsistent world, something that is his when so much feels out of his control.
And there's another comment from Hein from Myanmar. He wrote, sometimes my future is vague as I'm living in a country full of civil wars, but I am trying to balance my work and life. I study English in my pocket time, and I hope one day my country will be peaceful, or I could leave.
I hope one day I could leave. English, for Hein, is a key to a door he can't yet see, but he's cutting the key anyway, every day, in whatever time he has.
And that is one of the most courageous things a person can do. Prepare for a future you can't yet access because you believe it's coming.
The third lesson. English is sometimes not about opportunity, it's about hope. And hope, kept alive through daily practice, has changed more lives than any single dramatic event. Our fourth story, and this one is about what happens over time when you don't see the progress, but you keep going. A listener named Nil Sainara wrote one of the most beautiful comments we've ever received. She wrote, I'm not perfect, but I'm improving every day. The podcast teaches me more than grammar and vocabulary. It teaches about life, discipline, and self-growth. I will gladly listen to it again and again. Thanks a lot for your work. I hope one day I will be able to speak as well as I visualize.
As well as I visualize.
She has an image of herself, a future self who speaks freely, and she's walking toward that image, one episode at a time.
And notice what she said the podcast teaches her. Not just English, life, discipline, self-growth.
Which is exactly what we always say. English is the packaging. Growth is the product.
And then there's Simbat from Kazakhstan, who wrote, I listen to English podcasts every day while doing housework. At first, I didn't understand the whole meaning, but everyday practice really helped me. Now I can understand 70 to 80%. These small steps help me learn English.
From 0 to 70% while doing housework, not in a classroom, not with a tutor, just every day, the same practice, repeated.
And she didn't stop when she couldn't understand everything. She didn't decide she wasn't smart enough. She kept going, and the understanding came because it always comes when you show up every day.
The fourth lesson, progress is invisible until it isn't. You don't notice yourself getting better until one day you realize, I understood everything. And you can't remember exactly when it happened because it happened slowly, the way all real things happen.
Our fifth and final story, and this one is about what happens on the other side of the door, after the English, after the practice, after the courage.
A woman named Kat, who struggled with anxiety for years, wrote this. Since childhood, I used to look up to perfection. Through the years, I got sick due to anxiety, and I was always procrastinating because I didn't feel capable of learning anything. Despite my illness, I learned to make baby steps and be patient with myself. I always deserve better, so I start with your podcast and learning by myself. I believe today it is easier to be autodidact. We have to take advantage of social media. Thanks a lot.
I always deserve better. That sentence.
It's everything. She's not saying she's already there. She's saying, I deserve to try. I deserve to learn. I deserve to improve, even from here, even imperfectly, even slowly.
And she started not when she felt ready, not when the anxiety went away. She started with the anxiety still there, and she made one baby step and then another.
And then there's Deborah from Brazil, who wrote, My dream is to work with something I like that pays me well and that I'm good at. I want to have a comfortable life, my own house, my own car, hobbies, to travel, to make friends, and especially to feel freedom. I want to choose the things in my life.
I want to choose the things in my life.
That's what English offers. Not just a job, not just a salary, the freedom to choose, the ability to participate fully in the world, to say yes to things that require the language, to build something that is yours.
And that freedom starts with one episode, one podcast, one sentence spoken out loud today.
The fifth lesson, the other side of the door is not a place, it's a feeling, the feeling of choosing your own life. And English, for so many people, is what makes that feeling accessible.
Anna, throughout today's stories, we kept hearing certain words that came up again and again in what these learners wrote, words for change, words for growth, words for the journey.
Let's look at them, because these words are not just beautiful, they're useful. They'll help you describe your own journey in English.
First word, consistent or consistency.
Consistent means doing something regularly and reliably, without long gaps, without giving up. Consistency is the quality of that regularity. She was consistent, one podcast every day for a year. Or, consistency is the difference between dreaming and building.
Next, transform or transformation.
To transform means to change completely into something significantly different and usually better. A transformation is that complete change. Learning English transformed her career. Or, the transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens one day at a time.
Then, persist or persistence.
To persist means to continue doing something despite difficulty or obstacles. Persistence is that quality of continuing. He persisted even when progress felt invisible. Or, persistence is the skill that makes all other skills possible.
We also heard vision.
A vision is a clear image or idea of the future you want to create. She had a vision of herself speaking freely, and she walked toward it every day. Or, without a vision, practice feels pointless. With one, it feels like progress.
And milestone.
A milestone is a significant stage or moment in a journey or development, something you reach that shows how far you've come. Understanding 70% of the podcast was a real milestone. Or celebrate your milestones. They're proof you're moving.
And one final word, invest.
We've said this before, but in today's context, it means something even deeper. To invest means to give your time, your energy, your attention to something because you believe in its future value. Every minute she spent listening to English was an investment in the life she was building. Or you are not wasting time. You are investing it in yourself, in your future.
Your speaking gym challenge today, write in the comments your own story. One sentence. Where are you in your English journey? What door are you trying to open?
We read every single one, and your story might be the one that helps someone else keep going. Before we finish, we want to leave you with something to hold on to.
Step 1. Write down your real reason. Not, I want to improve my English. Deeper. What door are you trying to open? A job, a place, a person you want to reach, a version of yourself you're walking toward. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can see it.
Step 2. Make your daily practice as small as it needs to be to actually happen. One podcast, one episode, even 10 minutes, but every day. The drop that changes the stone.
Step 3. Share your story. In the comments, in a voice note to a friend, out loud to yourself. The moment you say your reason out loud, in English, it becomes more real, and more real things have more power to happen.
And step 4, when you feel like stopping, when progress feels invisible, when the door still seems far away, come back to today's stories. Rautha and her family's pilgrimage, Abby and the interview she's going to pass next time, Eugene and Hain keeping hope alive, Nilse Nara speaking as well as she visualizes, Kat choosing to deserve better.
These people are not special. They're not more intelligent or talented. They're just still going.
And that's the only thing that matters, still going.
Our question for today, the most personal we've ever asked.
What door are you trying to open with English? What is on the other side that you are walking toward?
Write it in the comments, your full answer, your dream, your reason. We want to know.
Because you deserve to say it out loud, in English, where someone will hear it.
And we will hear it, every word, we promise.
We are so proud of every person who opened this episode today. You are not just learning a language, you are building a life.
One word at a time.
Don't stop.
This was Speak First English.
Until next time, speak first, think second, and keep walking toward the door. It opens. We promise you, it opens. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.